we're live. Welcome, everyone. I figured I would mix it up a little bit. I don't know if I've ever done a live Q&A at Thursday at 5 p.m. before, but I'm always amazed at how many people in the live stream, the live chat say this is the first live stream I've ever been able to. This is the first time I've ever actually made a live stream, considering I've been doing 1 to 4 live streams every single day for the last 20 months or so. I figured I got to mix up the days. I got to mix up the times. 5 p.m. is a pretty early time to do a live Q&A, so should be good for all the folks over in Europe and whatnot. And yeah, seemed like a good idea. Now, hold on. Is anyone else saying they have no sound? Can you guys hear me? My indicators over here say that you guys can hear me. Just verifying the live chat, guys, that you can hear me. I'm looking at the live chat. Okay, good. If you can't hear me, it's on your end, folks. Okay, now the last few live chats that the last few live Q&As that I've done have been members only. Now, what that means is that the live Q&A itself is members only, but then for the replay, I open it up to everyone. I figured someone told me that you can do a live Q&A where anyone can watch, but only members can comment. I have not taken the time to research if that is true or how to set that up. But I'm also still trying to use the live Q&As as a way to provide extra value for people who have signed up for channel memberships, which is super easy to do. And I think the lowest monthly channel membership is $2.99 a month. And the benefit that I wanted to provide to the channel members is that it's easier to see your comments on live Q&As instead of just super chats, because people who are members, their comments in the live stream come up with a total different color and a total different font. So what I'm going to experiment on today is having the live Q&A be available for anyone to join and watch, and even anyone to comment. But I'm going to focus on commenting questions from channel members. That I feel like this is a happy compromise, and I'm just giving it a shot. Now, unfortunately, Barbara is not in the back office with me to help me star stuff. If she joins, then she joins. And by the way, if you are watching, the following people, if you are watching, and if you just happen to be sitting around with nothing to do, and if you want to jump into StreamYard and help me star comments, Marilyn Honig, Mike Brown, Natalie Webster, Sterling Tompkins, Zach Morgan, you all already have access to my StreamYard. So if you're watching, feel free to jump in the back. Otherwise, I'm going solo tonight, guys. And if you're a channel member and you specifically have something you want me to bring up on screen, please begin with all capital comment, all capital question, and that'll help make it easier for me to go through. So let's just say hi to Mrs. Valentine. You were the first channel member to comment in the live stream. Welcome, Mrs. Valentine. Susan P., you were the second. And Clearwater Chad, you were the third. Congratulations. Let's see. Clearwater Chad says, I already missed Clearwater. I want to come back soon. Clearwater Chad and John Poe on the Go, were in Clearwater. Was it just a week ago? I'm losing like all sense of time these days. All the days are running together. All the weeks are running together. There's been so much excitement the last 2 or 3 weeks. There's going to be so much excitement in the next 2 or 3 weeks that I can't even tell how long it's been, Chad. But it was great meeting you in real life, and Poe as well. And hope you can make it back soon. Let's see. Yeah, if you're watching right now, we got 740 people watching right now. Do me a favor, hit that like button. I do not know what's going on with YouTube lately. I can tell you, as someone who watches YouTube analytics very closely every day for at least the last 20 months, some really weird stuff is going on in YouTube land right now. The algorithm seems to be doing some weird stuff. I don't even know how to describe it more accurately than that, but it's one of these things where when you get used to looking at numbers and graphs and trends for a particular amount of time, you know when something weird is going on. And something weird is going on. And it's very clear that YouTube is not sending out notifications. Now, people always say that YouTube isn't sending out notifications. And to a certain degree, that's true. something extra weird is going on in the last week and a half, 2 weeks. So just do me a favor. If you're watching, hit that like button. People do believe, YouTubers do believe, that hitting that like button and also engagement in the live chat is one of the indicators that YouTube uses to send out notifications to a broader and broader section of the people who have chosen to receive them. So do we really know if it's true? No. Do we think that's true? Yes. Is it true? Who knows? Just hit that like button, guys. It's easy. It's fast. It's free. And we do think it helps. So thank you for that. And guys, I just do want to say, I am going to make a concerted effort not to import drama from other channels. And by the way, I'm not talking about the Stefani Hutchinson blog post. I very much love all the videos that have done about that. I'm just talking about very specific drama relating, and I don't even mean to use the word drama pejoratively or dismissively. Particular drama relating to particular personalities or particular channels, I just reserve my right not to import it. No offense to anyone who's asking about it or whatever. I very much selectively choose what drama I want to import or export, for that matter. And so if I ignore or don't bring up specific things, that's just what it is. Let's see. Susan P says, I did not see members only. That's right. We're not doing members only tonight, but I am going to very much focus on bringing up comments and questions from members, because honestly, at this point, guys, that is the only way I really know right now to add benefit and value to channel members. And it seems to be a good way to add value. It seems good for me. It makes it easier for me to focus on, certain questions and comments. It allows me to interact and engage with you guys more. So we will see. All right. Like I said, guys, I'm going through it on my own. Sir Crepitus, good to see you, Sir Crepitus. Thank you very much for joining. Mrs. Valentine, I think these are all things that were being said while I was late. Netherlands in the house. Good to see you, Cornelius. Thanks for joining. Someone is saying the volume is low. I don't know, guys. Just turn up your volume if it's low. Oh, man, you guys know how much I hate here silently scrolling. Lisa Kelson says, Kelly Copter, hi, loved your video yesterday. I thought Kelly's video was awesome yesterday. I see you in the chat there somewhere. I saw you in the chat somewhere, Kelly. Kelly's video was awesome, as was Marilyn's video earlier today. Was awesome. Yeah. I will comment on the Stefani Hutchinson thing. I'll tell you what particularly bothers me about what Stefani did. Stefani is someone that until 2 months ago or something, I would have told anybody who asked me was a friend of mine. I might even have said a good friend of mine. I've been a big fan of Stefani for years. She's been a big fan of mine for years. She's been down to Clearwater to visit a couple times. Steffi and I have never had a cross word with each other. We've never had an unpleasant conversation with each other. We've never had an argument. And then all the stuff happened with Mike, Mark, and Claire. And all of a sudden, Stefani apparently thinks I'm a terrible guy. Never had a conversation with me. Never asked me about anything. Never responded to me about any of the videos I've done explaining anything. Like, it's not like I expect everyone to be my biggest fan or take my word or believe my side of the story, but I do kind of expect someone who's actually been an actual friend of mine for quite a number of years now to give me the common decency and respect of, I don't know, a phone call, or even if you don't want to call me, how about the common courtesy and respect of not like actively tweeting extremely hateful things about me and mentioning my wife and my kids. Keep my fucking wife's and kids' name out of your fucking mouth, Stefani Hutchinson. You're acting like your behavior is fucking disgusting. Okay. And I don't mind saying that. I think how you're conducting yourself is disgusting. Stefani's someone who just randomly has blocked me on Twitter, even though I've never tweeted at her negatively ever. And so I don't really know what's going on. Clearly, she's just decided there's a war and she's going to pick a side and she's going to make her masters happy. I think it's truly disgusting and gross. Stephanie, you should have called me 20 or 30 times before you ever should start tweeting derogatorily about me and acting like you care more about my wife and my kids than I do. I think you're fucking disgusting. And I don't mind saying that right now. And I wouldn't be saying this just because of your stupid blog post. I'm saying that because of your disgusting mean tweets, and you should be ashamed of yourself. And honestly, you should resign from the Aftermath Foundation. And they should have told you to delete your blog post, and they should have told you to delete your tweets. And honestly, you shouldn't have to have someone to tell you to do that. Your behavior is reprehensible. So I really did appreciate Kelly's video, and I really did appreciate Marilyn's video. And yeah. How's that for some imported drama, you know? Like these, oh man, don't get me started, guys. Don't get me started. All right, let's see. Moving on. Actually, let me just check something in the YouTube studio real quick. There we go. Yes, indeed. Honestly, I mean, the fact that Stefani Hutchinson, someone who's never been in Scientology, someone who's been on the board of the Aftermath Foundation for 2 minutes, is saying more disgusting things about me than Mike, Mark, and Claire have ever said about me is like, huh? And don't get me started on the fact that the entire blog post was a defense of Alexander Barnes Ross. Alex is doing the real work, you guys. It's like Stephanie thinks the Aftermath Foundation only started doing good work like in November. I and Luis Garcia have been running the Aftermath Foundation for the last 6 years. Luis resigned. Claire took over from Luis Garcia as president in June 2023. That was 9 months ago. Okay. I've been off the board since November. That's 4 months, you guys. Tell me what doing the real work means. By the way, the SPTV Foundation is just so I can continue doing the work that I've already been doing for 6 years. I mean, it's amazing. I can't say enough about this, but I honestly, the more I say, the more pissed off I'll get. And since Stephanie's the one who brought Alexander Barnes Ross into it. And by the way, anyone who's wondering whether Stephanie had Alex's permission to do that blog post, please, of course she did. I could go on and on about Alexander Barnes Ross. I normally wouldn't, but Stephanie sort of opened the door, didn't she? I'm about to say the main problem with Alex is, but the truth is, there's many more problems. What I'm about to say isn't the main problem. It's just one of the easiest and obvious ones to discuss. When Alexander started his YouTube channel, he basically went about being kind of a bit of a stalker, a bit of a harasser, a bit of a single white female, for those of you who have seen the movie. Not just with me, primarily with me, but with at least 3 other people I could name for you. But just out of courtesy, I won't drag their names into the conversation. Okay, that's its own thing. It then progressed into, oh, can I be the UK representative of the Aftermath Foundation? No. Can I be on the board of the Aftermath Foundation? No. Okay, I'm going to organize a protest in London, and it's going to be a fundraiser for the Aftermath Foundation. Aaron, can you help me get up to 10,000 subscribers so I can do a fundraiser for the Aftermath Foundation? No. And then he goes to Claire. Claire, I want to make my protest a fundraiser for the Aftermath Foundation. Can I link my foundation into the, can I link my fundraiser into the board? Can I link into the fundraiser that the board is already doing? No. He was just told, do your own fundraiser. You don't, like, why do you always have to be piggybacking off of other people's stuff? Just do your own thing. You don't need permission. You don't need permission. It's the easiest thing in the world. So instead of doing his own fundraiser, he then went around and lied to everyone and told people that I told him he wasn't allowed to do a fundraiser for the Aftermath Foundation. Now, anyone with 2 brain cells to rub together would know that's obviously false. First of all, you don't need someone's permission. Second of all, why would I ever tell someone you're not allowed to raise funds? What Alex was told is that he wasn't going to be allowed to piggyback off of the fundraiser the board members had already scheduled. See, Alex didn't want to do a fundraiser if it was going to be obvious the amount of money he raised. He wanted to participate in a fundraiser that was going to raise a lot of money because he just wanted to look like he was a part of it, right? So it's been a lot of clout chasing right from the beginning. Now, clout chasing is a word that gets thrown around. I don't even really know what it means. I have an idea of what it means. It's just that anyone on YouTube could be said to be clout chasing, like depending on how you define clout and how you define clout chasing. So what I'm saying in this anecdote, the main problem with Alex is that he's a liar. I mean, this is a very specific lie. First of all, he used the Aftermath Foundation and his purported support of it as a way just to juice the subscribers for his channel. By the way, you need 10,000 subscribers in order to host a fundraiser on YouTube. And then instead of hosting a fundraiser, he just live streamed it, took all the super chats for himself, which I would never fault someone for. There's nothing wrong with collecting all the super chats in the world. But because he'd spent 3 weeks saying it was going to be a fundraiser, most people thought they were donating to the Aftermath Foundation. So not only did he not correct that record, not only did he use the foundation to juice his own channel, he very specifically went around and told everyone in our community that I am the one who was to blame for him not doing a fundraiser. It's the dumbest thing in the world. Okay, never mind the fact that his whole story of joining Scientology is that he saw a John Sweeney documentary about what a terrible, horrible, abusive, fair gaming cult Scientology is. And he thought, that looks good to me. Let me go check it out. And then he joined Scientology. Now, he likes to say, I joined Scientology when I was 15 years old. This is a misdirector. This is an exaggeration. This is a mischaracterization. First of all, most kids that you hear, or most people talking about joining Scientology when they're in their teens, it's because their parents joined Scientology and they were young children. Alexander Barnes Ross is the only person in his family to have ever been in Scientology. Okay. When he says he joined Scientology, he means he took an online OCA test. Okay. By the time Alexander Barnes Ross actually went into a church of Scientology to start an introductory course for the first time, he had already finished high school. He went in on his own. He went in on his own and joined Scientology. He was not recruited. He joined. He was not asked to come in. He went in. He was not pulled in. He walked in. He joined on his own volition. Okay. Then he was on staff for a summer because he was supposed to go to college. And here's the other part, the big part that Alexander Barnes Ross lies about. And you can tell in my first interview with him, my first and only interview with him, which is still on my channel, you will tell the part of the interview where I realize there's a part of his story that's bullshit. Now, at the time, I was being fair, generous, and charitable. And I didn't want to assume that he was lying about his story. I told him someone must have lied to him about what he thought occurred. You guys can watch our interview and see that part, okay? So he joined staff for a summer. Now, here's the problem. You can't join staff for a summer. When you join staff, it's a 2.5-year contract. But he claims he told them up front he was only joining for the summer because he was going to go to school after the summer. Okay. During the summer, the Scientology staff are trying to convince him not to go to school, not to go to school, not to go to school. He's like, no. I can't handle my mom. She wants me to go to school and she's paying for it and everything. So my mom's the problem. My mom's the problem. My mom's the problem. Okay. He goes off to school. Per him, the staff are still trying to work with him to handle his mom to allow him to leave school and come back to staff. And then October comes rolling around. Now, guys, I don't know if the school months in the UK are the same as the school months in the US, but usually school starts in September. So that means he was only back to school for like, I don't know, 6 weeks or whatever, 5-6 weeks, when the Office of Special Affairs contacted Alex to say, you're not welcome to come to the event. Don't ever come. You're not welcome in the org. Don't ever come back. 'Cause you're not welcome in the org. Don't ever come back. 'Cause you're not welcome in the org. Don't ever come back. 'Cause you're not welcome in the org. Don't ever come back. 'Cause you're not welcome in the org. Don't ever come back. 'Cause you're not welcome in the org. Don't ever come back. 'Cause you're not welcome in the org. Don't ever come back. 'Cause you're not welcome in the org. Don't ever come back. 'Cause you're not welcome in the org. Don't ever come back. 'Cause you're not welcome in the org. Don't ever come back. 'Cause you're not welcome in the org. Don't ever come back. 'Cause you're not welcome in the org. Don't ever come back. 'Cause you're not welcome in the org. Don't ever come back. 'Cause you're not welcome in the org. Don't ever come back. 'Cause you're not welcome in the org. Don't ever come back. 'Cause you're not welcome in the org. Don't ever come back. 'C Anyone who has spent 2 seconds in Scientology will tell you that is almost unheard of. First of all, if you're in trouble, it's HCO or the ethics officer who works with you. If the Office of Special Affairs contacts you to say, don't come back, there's something about your story you're not being honest about. Now, in Alex's story, he says that the reason he was told not to come back and the reason he was told he couldn't go to the next event was because of his mom once had a conversation with an SP. That is the biggest load of horseshit any former Scientologist has ever said. Okay. Alex isn't being honest about his story. Alex isn't exactly honest about a number of things. And you might go, Jesus, why run the guy down? Alex is a different person behind the scenes than he is in his videos. Okay. One of my saving graces is that I am the same person behind the scenes as I am in my videos. I can be a real dick behind the scenes. And as you can see, I can be a real dick in my videos. Alexander pretends to be the kumbaya. We're all on the same page. We're all on the same purpose. I'm a peacemaker. I'm a bridge builder. And yet behind the scenes, he's pretty fucking horrible to people. Okay. Listen, Alexander Barnes Ross has been doing good work over in East Grinstead. Well, one of the personality traits that has allowed him to do good work is he's pestering the people on the East Grinstead Council and the commission, all that stuff. The degree to which he is pestering all of those people is the same degree to which he has pestered people in the SPTV community for a variety of reasons. That's okay. As long as that personality trait is directed towards, you know, the East Grinstead Council and Commission and all that good stuff. I'm sure I'm using the wrong words. More power to him. But I can tell you that whatever personality traits we've seen exhibited in the SPTV community by Alexander Barnes Ross, and whatever personality traits allows him to, you know, I guess, succeed in dealing with the politicians over there in the East Grinstead. I'm guessing some form of that is why Scientology said, we don't want you. Most people in this community have gone through a particular path out of Scientology. And oftentimes that includes being under the radar for a certain period. That certainly was true for me. And eventually when Scientology realizes they're not going to be able to keep you, they get rid of you and they declare you and they expel you. It's not very often that someone is a good staff member doing really good work, putting up really good statistics, and Scientology says, don't come back. We do not want you. Lose our number. Don't call us. We certainly won't be calling you. Alexander's story is not being told honestly. And the other part that I take issue with is that the dude spent 18 months selling Dianetics books and then left staff, and then 10 years later wants to talk about how he's still processing his trauma. Guys, this is a community of a lot of people who've suffered an awful lot of trauma in Scientology and are victims of child abuse of various forms, psychological, mental, emotional, physical, SA, all that kind of stuff. We got no patience for fucking grifters. Okay. Now, this isn't the, what do you call it? The trauma Olympics, the victim Olympics, whatever. When the worst thing Alexander says ever happened to him is that an ethics officer once told him he needed to stay in the office until he finished writing his OWs, you need to shut the fuck up. Okay. Do all the good work that you want to do. Stop trying to be the band leader of the victim band. No one's got any fucking patience for it. And I'm speaking for myself and all the people, you know, goddamn well behind the scenes have had similar conversations like this with you. Okay. So Alex, if you don't want people to start talking, to keep talking about you, then stop being so horrible to people behind the scenes and stop using moderators who are being even more horrible than you are behind the scenes. And stop letting people like Stefani write outrage bait articles in your name and in defense of your honor. It's ridiculous, dude. So you can thank Stefani for opening up the next chapter of the Alexander Barnes Ross documentary. But there you go. Hopefully, I don't plan on talking about this. Alex can do his own thing all he wants. It means nothing to me. And anyone who thinks I'm jealous of Alex needs to seek serious and immediate psychiatric help, you guys. Okay. So let's move on, guys. Sandy McKenna, question: what type of SPT Foundation advisory boards are needed? Sandy, I really appreciate the question. We are in such early stages of getting things going that I feel like it would be a mistake for me to even try to list them. The most important ones have to do with mental health. Those are the most important ones. And everything else after that is just less important. We certainly need an advisory committee about for the volunteers and the volunteerism. Those are just two obvious answers, but I don't want to try to be more specific than that, because also a full and complete answer to that question is something that I would want to provide only after full consultation with all board members on that topic. But yeah, you should have seen some updates on the website. Oh boy, I don't remember if I was told that we already started getting some hits on the volunteer email address. I don't want to pull up the website right now. But yeah, thank you for the question, Sandy. I appreciate it. Daisy, thank you for all you do. You are making a difference. Thank you very much. I very, very much appreciate it. Oh, hell no. Says, checking to see if you got the email I sent you with some pictures on it. Well, unless your email address is ohhellno@ohhellno.com, I might not know who you are. Oh, did you sign your email by saying you're oh hell no? I feel like I haven't seen it. If I've seen it, I'm not able to mentally connect the email that I saw with your question or your screen name here. So, but that's okay. I guess I will see it. Thank you for the question. Swedish Andrea, hello to you. I'm seeing some questions here that I'm going to choose not to import. Kim McNeil, I recall Rusty Tweed at the Toronto org. Wow. You know, there's one thing about Rusty Tweed, who's Daniel Masterson's stepdad. An unresolved question that I have that I either haven't asked the right person or I haven't seen the answer, which is, why does it seem like Rusty Tweed lives in Clearwater and his wife lives in LA? Are they not married anymore? If they're not married anymore, I haven't heard that. Or does Rusty Tweed just own and run a company in Clearwater but lives in LA anyway? That's an obvious answer, but I just don't know. I just haven't asked. So I'm throwing it out there, you guys. If anybody knows, is Rusty Tweed and Carol Masterson still married? Does Rusty live in Clearwater and Carol lives in LA? Or does Rusty live in LA and he owns a business in Clearwater? Let me know. DM. I like it. Dangerous screen name to have around here. But welcome as a new member, D. Oh, I guess I don't have to scroll anymore. Barb's in the back office, and I see tons. Hi, Barb. I see you. Hi, Barb. And I see tons of starred things here. So, Barb, just please do me a favor and try to focus on members who are posting questions and comments. All right, awesome. Thank you. Thank you much. Okay, let's see. Ken Grover, welcome as a new member. Glad to have you here. Oh, Peggy Cole says, heads up, members chat doesn't go on slow mode. Might make it hard to star. That's okay, Peggy. I think we got it under control. Thank you very much. Dina, welcome as a new member. Mama83, welcome. Scottish Wifey, welcome. 1984 by George Orwell, very much welcome. Kendall Links, welcome. And Sir Crepitus, fantastic. Sir Crepitus gifted 5 memberships. That's amazing. Thank you, Sir Crepitus. That's very kind of you. I appreciate that. And let's see, what is this? Portland SP supporter, Melody. We love you just the way you are, Aaron. Question, will you ever come to Portland? Never say never. The thing is, like, I do not have any reason I can think of to go to Portland. Gosh, I don't know. There's no reason for me not to go to Portland. I just can't think of a reason to go to Portland. One of these days. I mean, I'm only 43. I mean, got a number of years left on this planet. So eventually, I guess I will. We'll see. Brittany Van Broek says, what is a Stefani Hutchinson? Just kidding. You're killing it. Thank you very much. Joe Cooter, new member, welcome. Rocks in a Box, new member, welcome. Okay, SB says, would love to have a short bio from second gens or link to a specific YouTube video, a short explanation of their journey, good to use in contacting congressmen. They are very good advocates. SB, I'm a little confused. At first, I assumed you were talking about for the board members on the SPTV Foundation, but now I'm not sure if you are. And if you are, then I think that's a good idea. And if you aren't, then I'm not sure how it's relevant. So I choose to believe you're talking about the board members of the SPTV Foundation, even though we do have board members who are not Scientologists. So it's not just second generation former Scientologists. But anyway, thank you for your suggestion. I appreciate it. Lydia. Oh, wait, not Lydia. Lily D. I messed this up the last time, didn't I? I think I made this. Lily. Oh, Lily Di. I should have read the whole thing. I'm excited to make a live. Last time, my name is pronounced Lily Di. Excellent. Welcome, Lily Di. I will never forget that now, which is usually what I say right before I forget it. Lily Di. Kelly Copter says, you don't need permission to do a fundraiser, honey. Exactly. And it's like the absurdity of me being like, don't you dare. I'll tell you what Alex is talking about when he says, Aaron told me not to do a fundraiser. Wah. Alex, for months, had been talking on his channel about creating a new nonprofit organization to clean up all the people who didn't get help from the Aftermath Foundation, apparently, which is honestly kind of an insulting thing for Alexander Barnes Ross to try to do. And I had been contacted by so many people who told me that they were asked to join his board or had joined his board or anything, that I assumed he had his own nonprofit. And I said, if you have your own nonprofit, why are you using the Aftermath Foundation for clout and subscribers? And he admitted to me he did not have a nonprofit. And I said, oh. And then I got even more pissed off. And I'm like, how have you been talking for months about a nonprofit that you haven't even created? Now you might go, well, Aaron, you were talking about it for a while. No. I created it, and then it took a couple months for the damn thing to get approved. I didn't spend months talking about a nonprofit that I didn't even create. It's ridiculous. Okay, so at first I was giving Alex shit for doing a fundraiser for the Aftermath Foundation when he had his own nonprofit. I said, just do a fundraiser for your own nonprofit. I don't even understand why you would have your own organization and do a fundraiser for another organization. And that's when he said, I don't have an organization. I didn't create one. I said, oh. And then I got pissed off at that. But I didn't then say, okay, fine. Well, it's still messed up for you to do a fundraiser for the Aftermath Foundation. You see what I'm saying? Now, Alex knew this. Alex is obviously not a dumb guy. He's obviously a bright guy. So he's also should have been bright enough not to run around telling people in our small community telling people a lie, that I am the reason poor little Alex couldn't do a fundraiser for the Aftermath Foundation. By the way, he hasn't even done a fundraiser for the Aftermath Foundation even since then. And that was in like, what, October? That was in like October. He still hasn't done a fundraiser for the Aftermath Foundation. Is that my fault? No, not my fault. Thank you, Kelly. DDT shoots. Why is the Aftermath Foundation so tone deaf? Keep spilling all the Scientology. Oh, keep spilling all the Scientology beans. Go SPTV Foundation. Go AA run. You know, I think you are. I think your comment is referring to Stephanie's blog post. Now, maybe your comment's referring to everything over the last 4 months, 4 months. Wait, November, December, January, February, 4 months. Look, I think they're being defensive, which isn't even a criticism. I'm a very defensive guy. I get defensive. When I see them behaving defensively, I don't go, oh my God, what are they doing? I go, okay, they're being defensive. I think Stephanie's being offensive and offensive. I cannot decide whether the board members actually gave her permission to do that blog post, or if like her blog post so clearly violates the code of ethics that the Aftermath Foundation adopted. That was their pretense for getting rid of me. It was the pretense in the meeting, by the way. Now, even Stephanie's trying to pretend like the code of violating their code of ethics wasn't the real reason they got rid of me. It was all the other stuff. No, Stephanie, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. If it was all the other stuff, then why did they vote to keep me on the board in, what was it, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December? No, in just October, they had voted to reject my resignation from the board. You don't know what you're talking about, Stephanie. Shit, I lost my train of thought. It was, it so clearly violated the code of conduct that I just find it hard to believe that they actually gave her permission in advance to do that thing. I feel like more like Stephanie thought her legal disclaimer, I do not speak for the board. It's a code of conduct for board members. Saying you don't speak for the board doesn't exempt you from the code of conduct of board members. Okay. I still lost the train of thought of the actual point that I was trying to make there. Anyway, I'll just go back to your question. I honestly don't know why they keep saying anything at all. I truly don't. I've basically said nothing. I mean, right now I'm responding to Stephanie. I don't even consider Stephanie a board member. She's been a board member for 2 fucking minutes. As far as I'm concerned, Stefani Hutchinson to me doesn't equal Aftermath Foundation. People would be upset with Stephanie's blog post, whether she was on the board of the Aftermath Foundation or not. She's been a contributing member of this community for years and years and years. People would be pissed with Stephanie's blog post, no matter what. By the way, it's also very, very low to tweet constantly about someone you've blocked. I've blocked hateful people on Twitter, but I don't tweet about them. I don't even know these. Like, if someone tweets some hateful shit about me, I'll block them. But like, Stephanie, you're doing what Scientology does. I mean, honestly, your blog post was so Scientology-like. And also blocking me and then tweeting really hateful things about me, that's what the Stand League does. That's the company you're keeping right now. Oh, that's what I said. I don't even talk about them. I have had people ask me to do more videos about Mike Rinder, and I said, no, it's honestly bad for business. My viewers don't like it. I lose subscribers every time I do one of these fucking drama videos. I don't like doing them. I do them to respond to things, but I don't do them offensively. Anyway, thank you for your super chat. I appreciate it. Mrs. Valentine, when you get fired by Scientology, just saying. Yes, and you're talking about the Alex thing. Yes. Alex's Scientology story is, I saw a documentary about how horrible Scientology is, and then I went and I joined. And then I joined, and I was the best. I was the best bookseller ever. They'd never had a bookseller as good as me. And then they told me that don't ever come back. And I pretend like I don't know why they didn't want me back. I give some bullshit reason about my mom once had a conversation with someone who was connected to an SP, and I pretend like that makes sense, even though Alex knows enough Scientology to know that that doesn't make any sense. And then a year and a half later, I convinced them to let me back. And then they let me back reluctantly. And then when I was back, I complained so much about how upset I was that they had gotten rid of me the first time, that they then got rid of me a second time. Like, when Scientology says, we don't want you, stay away from us. That's weird, dude. That's why I say Alex isn't being honest about his story. Oh, and then when it says, oh my God, I almost arrived to the Sea Organization. What? You're a staff member. You couldn't arrive. He goes, I signed a Sea Org contract. Everyone in Scientology has signed a Sea Org contract. I was on a project prepare. A project prepare is just the list of 1 or 1,000 things you theoretically need to do before arriving into the Sea Org. Like, it doesn't mean anything. Oh, I was so close to being trafficked to the United States. Like, this is what I mean when I say he exaggerates and lies and misrepresents the extent of the involvement in Scientology. He does it in weird ways, right? Anyway, I've said it. Andrew Martinov. Stephanie admits in her profile that she is moody. Oh, okay. Marissa says, I'm so glad I made a pot of tea for this tea. The math wasn't mathing with this Alex. Yeah. And the thing is, like, if he just focused on doing the good work that he does, it'd be fine. But this whole thing, Chris Shelton does this. Chris Shelton does the same thing. We should all just get along. Well, Chris doesn't actually say that, but on Chris's Twitter profile, it says, it's chaos out there. Be kind. Chris is someone else who, part of the problem with Chris is he's a completely different person off camera than he is in my videos. That really is the problem. The amount of hateful, spiteful drama that Chris initiates, participates in, and enables everywhere else other than his YouTube channel, you wouldn't even believe it. And yet he goes on his YouTube channel and he goes, this is a drama-free zone. And you're like, yeah, because you do all the fucking drama everywhere else. You see, one of the reasons that if I have a problem with someone, that I'm inclined to have the conversation publicly is so that nobody can misrepresent what I said. See, that's the thing. Like, nobody can say I said something I didn't, because this is where I say it. And everything I'm saying now, I've said to Alex to his face. And that's when Alex basically wrote a report on me and sent it to all the board members of the Aftermath Foundation, because he wanted them to know how Aaron was treating fellow victims of Scientology. Alex, you saw a documentary on how bad Scientology was, and then you joined, and then you loved it. And then they said, we don't want you. Don't come back. And then you made them take you back. And then they said again, we don't want you. Get out of here. You were not a victim of Scientology. Okay? You're not a victim of Scientology. I don't know what you are. You might be a victim of something. It's not Scientology. And you left Scientology like 9 or 10 years ago. You make it sound like it was 4 years ago. It wasn't. You made it sound like you've just been processing your trauma for a year. No, you've been on YouTube for a year. Why is being on YouTube how you process your trauma? These are not the same things. Yeah, there's some tea for you. The Soapster, aka Celine Blacko. Welcome as a member. Soapstar. The Soaperstar. All righty. Keela McDonald. Keela, always good to see you. Trying to catch up. Hello, everyone. Andrew Martinov. I think it's saying thank you for that analysis on Alex. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I keep going back to this. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's room for Alex in this community. Alex does good work in this community. If Alex would stop acting like a stalker and a harasser to most of the people in this community, people would have less of a problem with him. If he would stop trying to portray himself as something much different than he is, or portraying his experiences much different, if he just focused on doing the activism instead of pretending to be something he's not, nobody would have a problem with Alex. The problem isn't that his experience was only A, B, and C. The problem is that he portrays it as X, Y, and Z. And so I guess I know I'm being a little repetitive and long-winded about this. My point, but I want to reiterate, there is plenty of room in this space for Alex's valuable work. If he would just do that and not behind the scenes also be massively fomenting division, dissent, and fighting. Yeah, I guess there's a lot of layers to this. And this also goes back to other people in the community who seem to only exist in the community for the sake of creating upset and strife. And I'm talking about people like Michelle Carpenter and Pete Jensen and Juliana Cohen, who somehow have latched onto this community like parasites just to be creators of drama and conflict and all sorts of just weird shit. Now, I'm sure this shit happens in any group, but this is what happens in this group. And there's certain personalities that sort of push it in this group. And the problem is that, like, one of Alex's moderators, Mrs. J, she is one of the most disgustingly hateful members of whatever you want to call this, because I don't even want to call her a member of this community because I feel like she's not. Michelle Carpenter, Pete Jensen, Juliana Cohen, and whoever Mrs. J is. Oh, and don't get me started on how much contempt I have for people who behave like this, like Alex's moderator, Mrs. J, and they hide behind anonymous names on the internet. Now, of course, the reason they're hiding behind anonymous names is because they know that I'll say their name in one of my videos when I'm calling them out for their disgusting behavior. But the fact that Mrs. J is one of the most hateful, disgusting, and divisive members of the sub community, and she's one of Alex's moderators. Do you think Alex doesn't know everything that Mrs. J is doing? Sorry, I knocked over this bottle of water. Alex knows everything she's doing. But when Alex does his videos, he's just like, can't we all just hold hands and sing songs and kumbaya and keep our eye on the ball? And it's like, you're fake. Stop being fake if it's possible, which I'm sure it's not possible. And just focus on the work, and people will stop fucking talking about you, at least negatively. Whoo! All right. Pete in Toronto. Pete gifted 5 memberships. That's awesome, Pete. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Uh-oh. Miss Sunrise Dawn says, I don't think I can afford another monthly membership, but I want you to know that I very much appreciate everything you do for this community. Well, I mean, thank you for just being here. Thank you for the super chat. I have good news for you. A monthly membership is cheaper than that super chat. And it's okay. I mean, not everyone has to be a member. I'm trying to provide value so that there's even a reason to become a member. I'm not even sure that memberships are actually a positive idea for the channel. I'm still not convinced, but I just wanted you to know a membership is even cheaper than that super chat. And that's one of the reasons I actually turned them on, is because I realized that the people who've been with me the longest, viewing, commenting in the live chat, the people who've been with me the longest would actually be able to save money if they had a membership instead of having to super chat, and that I could ask my moderators to highlight the comments of members. So anyway, something to consider, Miss Sunrise Dawn. Thank you very much. Okay. JD Pierce 21. Aaron, I'm doing a fundraiser that another fundraiser is promoting. Would you promote the fundraiser that is promoting my fundraiser? I love it. Thank you, JD Pierce. M is a new member. Ellen Goodman is a new member. Down the Rabbit Hole News. Wait. So the cult kicked him out? Yes. Now you could say, well, the cult kicked all of us out. Like you could say, like, when Mark and Claire Headley blew, eventually the cult kicked them out after they blew. When Mike Rinder blew, eventually the cult kicked him out after he blew. I was under the radar for years. And eventually when they realized I was just going to that I was actually out mentally of Scientology, and I was under the radar, and I was basically spying for the big bad SPs, and I was just going to keep lying to them about it, then eventually they kicked me out. So you could say for about all of us that eventually they kicked me out. It's just that Alex, see, for me, I was out of Scientology. I was just trying not to get declared because I didn't want to lose my family, my wife's family, and my job. But Alex was trying to stay in Scientology. Alex was like, I want you to bring me back on staff. I want to keep being in Scientology. And they were like, don't come back. Lose our number. And he's like, but I'm the best bookseller in the history of London. And they're like, we don't give a shit. Now, do you know how hard it is to find someone who wants to sell books and is good at it? It's almost impossible in Scientology. So the more Alex keeps tooting his own horn at how he was the best bookseller in this sector of the Galactic Confederacy, the more it creates this conflict between, then why did they tell you not to come back? Because if you expect any former Scientologist to believe that it's because your mother once had a conversation with an SP, you're full of shit. And at this point, when I first did my interview with Alex, I was convinced that no one in Scientology had been honest with him about why he wasn't welcome back. I no longer believe that. I believe Alex knows damn well why they didn't want him back, and he's the one being dishonest about it. And that's what I really meant the first time I said he's not really being honest about a number of things. Okay, Andrew Martinov, thoughts on Jessica with Claire today? First of all, I will give a couple thoughts. I have never asked, nor do I ever expect anybody in our community to have to pick sides between me and Mike and Mark and Claire. I've never encouraged anyone to unsubscribe from their channels. I've never encouraged anyone to go make shitty comments on their channels. I've never given anyone shit for doing videos with them. I could not possibly give a shit. And I didn't care at all when I saw Jessica on with Claire today. Now, I did get a text from Jessica being like, holy shit, I recorded that interview a week ago. I had no idea there was any beef. I'm hearing from people there's a huge beef. I didn't know. I'm sorry. I was like, please do not worry about it. I said I could not care less about that type of drama. I was surprised to see this. This is the other thing that made me wonder if the Aftermath Foundation board members could have possibly approved Stefani Hutchinson's blog post, because I have now learned that that video with Jessica and Claire was recorded like a week ago. Well, Stephanie's blog post was like 3 days ago. Stephanie's blog post just shit all over the protesters. It was incredibly offensive and insulting to all of the protesters. I don't believe that Claire Headley would have approved Stefani Hutchinson to write that blog post, knowing that Claire had already recorded an interview with Jessica Palmadessa, who's one of the main protesters. So Stefani, you done messed up. So anyway, that's my thoughts. And honestly, I mean, I want the protesters to get all of the support and help and promotion and anything. And again, and so the fact that she got it from Claire, I go, great, excellent. I mean, it has always bothered me that the comments the foundation board members have made about the protesters previously have been rather dismissive and insulting. There was one video Mike did where he sort of walked that back a little bit. And I was like, okay, fine. At least you tried. But there's definitely never been anything positive. Ironically, the only one Mike Rinder has ever said a positive thing about is Jessica Palmadessa. And I'm like, have you ever heard of William Good? Like, give Jessica all the compliments as well. He acted like Jessica was the kind of the main one doing the whole thing. Now, next to William, next to William, Jessica and ConfidentChris pretty much are, and Danny and Leah pretty much are, and Aja and DOA and Laura and Serge. See, that's the thing. You can't pick just one. But the only one Mike Rinder's ever given a positive shout out to is Jessica, which is what I mean when I say they've always been very cool, very lukewarm about giving any recognition to the protesters. So I was thrilled to see Claire do it with Jessica. And I would never make Jessica feel weird about doing it with Claire. Okay, does it matter to you? Welcome. Does it matter to you? John Gray. I'm a cop watcher. I've seen the things the cops have done to your community. I know nothing about Scientology. Ready to help. John, that's awesome. John, please email me. I know I'm having trouble getting to all my emails, but please email me. If you have a channel, when you say you're a cop watcher, that makes me think you've got a channel. Email me. I'd love to talk to you. And now I'm dying to know where you live, like which city you're in. Hope to talk to you soon. Okay. Oh, hell no. Gifted 5 memberships. Thank you. Oh, hell no. That's really, really awesome. Guys, my understanding is that if you're watching the live chat and someone gifts memberships, my understanding is that YouTube automatically rewards or assigns the memberships to certain people in the live chat. But you can't, I've never had this happen to me. I've never walked these steps. I'm told there's some setting on your account that you have to click in order to like opt in to being awarded a membership. I don't know exactly how that works, but if you're in the live chat and all of a sudden you're a member and you don't know how, it's because of people like, oh, hell no, who donate these memberships, and then YouTube automatically assigns them. So thank you, oh, hell no. That is awesome. Oh, Paula Candelario. And Alex moderates in someone else's chat, and I unsubscribed from them because he gave me the creeps. Sad, because I really liked that creator. I think I know who you're talking about. And because this is not a monarchy, benevolent or otherwise, or a dictatorship, I have never told that person that they should get rid of Alex as a moderator, because who the fuck am I to say something like that? But I know who you're talking about. And I've often wondered if that person knows how much having Alex as a moderator tarnishes that person's reputation with the rest of the community without anyone having to say anything. And I think your comment here is evidence of that. So thank you, Paula. Sir Crepitus, looking forward to getting a monthly donation button on the SPTV Foundation website. The lovely lady named Jenna Miscavige, who's been doing all the work on the SPT Foundation website, said that the thing you're talking about right there is something she was trying to get done today. And then I asked her to do something else instead. So I'm not sure if she's going to get that done today or tomorrow, but it was on like the top of her to-do list. And so you should see it any day now, Sir Crepitus. Thank you for that. Danny's in the chat. Guys, Danny and his fiance Leah are two of the live stream protesters out there in LA. And not in LA. They were in Austin. They were in Chicago. They're all over the damn place. Danny, you guys got to come down to Clearwater sometime soon. In fact, Danny, text me later today. I got some info for you. Laura, welcome as a new member. The Superstar, aka Celine Blackow, longtime lurker turned member, loving all the SPTV work, folks. Agree regarding Stefani. She obviously crawled up Mike Rinder's bum. Yes. Well, once someone that I had been friends with for years, once I saw that she'd blocked me on Twitter, I'm like, how's that? Look, if I'm spamming something, like if theoretically, because I don't do this to people on Twitter or anywhere, if I'm just like, if I'm tweeting at you and I'm tagging you and I'm being annoying and I'm being an asshole, of course I would expect to be blocked. But to have someone who's a friend of mine who I've never sent a mean text to, never sent a mean phone call to, never had a mean phone conversation with, I've never tweeted anything negative at her, to look at Twitter and be like, you blocked me. I mean, again, that's Scientology behavior. I've looked up Scientology celebrities who I've never met, I've never spoken with, I've never tweeted at, and they've got me blocked on Twitter. I expect that from Scientology. I don't expect that from Stefani Hutchinson. Like, what do you if you're not protecting yourself from my mean tweets by blocking me, then what are you doing? And then you tweet about me, hateful things about me, disgusting things about my wife and my children, by the way. You should really be horrified and disgusted with yourself, Stefani. So you're going to block me, and then you're going to tweet horrible things about me. You are just like Scientology. It's unbelievable. Except Scientology didn't crawl up Mike Rinder's ass. You did. Oh, hell no, says... Oh, the email is the email is oh hell no .3100. Oh my God. That is great. It must be one of the many emails that I haven't seen, but I feel like usually I'm scrolling through emails and I will look at everything usually. Anyway, resend it to me and then that'll make sure that I see it. God, that is funny. John Thompson, welcome as a new member. Shauna B, welcome as a new member. Tuntry, gifted one membership. Thank you. That's really awesome, you guys. It's so cool. I just love it. Simone's girl. Hey, Aaron, why can't Mike Rinder just give Mirriam the affidavit? Simone, I think you're talking about the affidavit that Mirriam, in the Scientology in the Aftermath episode that Mirriam was in. There was a card that appeared on the screen that said Mirriam's mom had sent the production company an affidavit containing certain information about what her mom knew and when she knew it about Mirriam's abuse. Mike Rinder has explained that to the best of Mike Rinder's knowledge, the production company never actually received an affidavit. So just to give you the most charitable answer, Mike Rinder says there is no affidavit. And I believe he explained that to the best of his knowledge, the production company was told by Scientology's lawyers, the production company's lawyers were told by Scientology's lawyers that Mirriam's mom had done the affidavit. And that's why the card said that Mirriam's mom did an affidavit. And I don't know, you have to go back and look at the language of the card that appeared on the screen. I don't know whether the card said Mirriam's mom submitted an affidavit or we received an affidavit, but Mike says there is no affidavit. And I don't have evidence one way or the other. So that would be the answer to your question, though, to the best of the information that is available. Thank you so, so much. WindyCityThetanWatch, one of the dedicated live stream protesters out there in Chicago. Always good to see you, WindyCityThetanWatch. Comment as a new small channel. I want to thank you for your generosity in helping us get platformed. Well, it is my pleasure. I have to say, I've started to experience a little bit of anxiety over how to possibly give all of the channels the exposure that I want to give them, that I've sort of promised I would give them, whether I could possibly do everyone justice, whether I'm giving some people too much attention and other people not enough attention. I started to have a little bit of a crisis about it a couple of weeks ago, and I don't think I've highlighted anything at all. So I hope to be able to do my best to continue to highlight the things that you guys are doing. You're doing a great job out there. So for the 3,000 people watching, if anyone's not yet subscribed to WindyCityThetanWatch, definitely check out his channel. That is the name of the channel. Thank you very much. Okay, let's see. Bliss and Zoe became a member the other day and have now managed to catch my first live. Welcome. I guess I would say congratulations, but that sounds a little condescending. So just welcome. Welcome is much better. By the way, for you members in this live stream, just let me know. For those of you who were able to make some of our earlier members only live Q&As, let me know in the live chat. How do you prefer the experience of having everyone being able to join us on this live stream and having my moderators trying to focus on comments from members, as opposed to just doing the smaller members only live Q&As? Do you have a preference one way or the other? I'd be interested to hear your guys' feedback on that. Hockeytown John, welcome as a new member. Let's see. Lethanda Grauklinger, you will always be one of my favorite screen names. Question, is it planned that the SPTV Foundation offers counseling for the members who will have to deal with all the horrible stories of abuse and horror? It can be challenging to listen to that. Oh, do you mean channel members? Because at first I was going to be, at the first part of your question, I was like, oh, definitely. But then the second part of your question, I was like, oh, no, maybe not. I think you mean channel members, and I think you're making a little bit of a joke. So anyway, thank you for your comment, Lathanda. Okay, let's see here. Oh, okay. Unstoppable SP. Question. I filled out the form days ago. I think you're talking about the form on the SPTV Foundation website, and it was not accepted. It sends me to another page where it says to check my email, but nothing arrived in my email. I've tried 3 times. As of last night, it's been fixed now, but as of last night, there was a problem with, and I'm going to get this wrong because I'm relaying what I probably incorrectly understood. There was a problem with the company that handles that particular transfer of information. It was down, and the form should work right now. But Unstoppable SP, if you have any problems whatsoever, just take whatever information you would normally put in that form and just put it in an email and send it to me at growingupinscientology@gmail.com. I know I say I don't read all my emails, but I do look at all of them, if you know what I mean. So yes, like I said, it should be fixed now, but you can always email me directly anyway, and I'll just treat it as if it was a form submission. So thank you for that. Laura, glad to finally be a member. Very glad to have you. Keela McDonald, look at you. Gifted 5 Growing Up in Scientology memberships. Well, thank you, Keela. That's incredibly generous of you, and I appreciate it. Galen 209, will you have an SPTV Foundation YouTube channel? I'll tell you what, as of right now, I feel like the answer is no. Why? Because like all 12 board members have YouTube channels. All 12 board members already have established YouTube channels with sizable audiences. But I say no because I just feel like it's not needed, but it's not a terrible idea. So it's not like I'm saying it's like definitely never. I just still feel like I don't know that it would serve an awesome purpose, because honestly, I've said that it's sort of my motto. We are the Aftermath Foundation. I'm going to talk about the Aftermath Foundation. Every board member is going to talk about the Aftermath. Oh, the SPTV Foundation. Sorry, guys, Freudian slip there. Yes, we are the SPTV. Yeah, 6 years of habits die hard. We are the SPTV Foundation. I'm going to be talking about the SPTV Foundation. Every board member is going to be talking about the SPTV Foundation. Anyone who's a part of SPTV, who's even not a board member, is going to be talking about the SPTV Foundation. And any good news or videos that there are to share are going to be on all of our channels. So who cares about parking it on a new dedicated channel? Anyway, that's a lot of words to say. I don't think so, but I don't think so. We'll see what happens. Oh my goodness. This is really happening. Gifted 5 growing up in Scientology memberships. That is incredible. This is really happening. Thank you very, very much. Okay, I see a little bit of stuff I'm not going to import. Bigsy 1979, Aaron means business when he refers to the dude by his full name. You're such a dad, Aaron. That is a very good observation. Okay, I'm pre-reading this next comment because I'm not sure what exactly it means. Hold on. Okay, I don't know. Okay, Aaron, I hope you're okay. I just want to hug the sore. I can't imagine being any of you. Thanks for trusting us with your stuff. And sorry, some of us suck big. Well, I don't know that you should associate your set or lump yourself in with anyone who sucks big. I'm just going to thank you for the positive sentiment. And I think there might be some typos in there is all I'm saying. I'm just not sure I understand every word and phrase in the super chat, but I thank you for it nonetheless. Okay. Tom Working. My hope is y'all go forward. You do the opposite of Scientology. No declaring or excommunication, but room for reconciliation. Yeah, I got to tell you, in my opinion, the effort to get as many former Scientologists onto YouTube as possible, for me, is an effort to create a situation where there isn't gatekeeping. Now, I know somebody will always say, oh, Aaron, you're gatekeeping if you won't have someone on your channel. Bullshit. That's not what gatekeeping means. I get to choose who I want to have on my channel. That's not gatekeeping. Encouraging people to come onto a platform where they can speak for themselves, reach their own audience, say whatever they want, whenever they want, is the opposite of gatekeeping. And to your point here, is the opposite of declaring and excommunication and silencing and whatever. And I do have to tell you that one of the things that has confused me, or that I've, I don't know if confused is the right word, is that the other people who claim to be doing the good work, and by the way, the Aftermath Foundation has always done good work and is still doing good work. But the people who claim that all they're here on YouTube to do is the good work, is I go, then why do you all you talk about is Tom Cruise and Shelley Miscavige? How is that doing the good work? How come you guys don't call out all the Scientology pedophiles? How come you guys aren't going out and searching for all the recruiters and the registrars and the fundraisers and the ethics officers and the OSIS staff? And why is it that you guys aren't platforming and trying, to increase the reach of other channels and get other voices to join what we do? Now, I'm not trying to say that there's a standard that you have to meet, and below that standard, you're not doing the work, and above that standard, you are doing the work. But there's, some prominent voices in our community that you guys know who I'm talking about, who claim they're the only ones who are doing the good work. Or they're only here to do the good work, and all the rest of us are here for clickbait and views and dollars. I got to tell you something. I'm the one who got Mark Headley and Mike Rinder to do YouTube. And I can tell you in no uncertain terms, the only reason they got on YouTube was because of the dollars. I know, because I'm the one that got them onto YouTube. And I'm not criticizing them for that. Okay. What I'm criticizing them for is saying, we're doing the good work. We're the ones focused on the purpose. And it's like, but all you do is talk about Tom Cruise and Shelley Miscavige, and you just talk to each other all the time, and you don't platform anybody. And it's all just it's just a little circle jerk. Stop trying to make yourselves the in group and everyone else the out group. I feel like what I've tried to do is the opposite. I've tried to bring everyone, convince as many people as possible to join this effort. And you don't have to like me or be my friend to get onto YouTube. And that's also one of the benefits of having so many board members on the SPTV Foundation, is that you don't have to like any of us or all of us. You could be like, you know, and in the first board meeting that we had, one of the things that we discussed was we're going to do our best not to repeat the mistakes of the Aftermath Foundation. And we are never going to allow interpersonal conflicts to become board business. And if two board members want to bicker with each other online or throw shade or make snide comments about each other, I could not give a shit, because it's got nothing to do with the SPTV Foundation. Somebody might go, well, it makes you guys look bad. No, it doesn't. It makes us look good, because it shows we're not trying to control the behavior, information, thought, and emotions of our board members. You can do whatever you want. We are here to raise money to help people who are leaving Scientology and help former Scientologists who are still suffering from having been in Scientology, and to put that money to use in the most responsible and effective way possible. Personalities mean nothing. Arguments mean nothing. Disagreements mean nothing. And I think I got off topic, but thank you, Tom Working. I appreciate it. Okay, let's see. Grandma Matilda, in your earlier video, you talked about the mold guy. Is there a way to find out what businesses are run by Scientologists or are affiliated with Scientology in some way? Thank you for the question, Grandma Matilda, and glad to have you as a member. Scientology used to publish something called a WISE business directory. Now, WISE stands for World Institute of Scientology Enterprises. It is Scientology's business consulting front group. It's also a membership organization that Scientologists who own businesses are required to become a member of, because part of the membership agreement is you sign a contract that binds you to take all business disputes to internal arbitration, and you're forbidden from suing any other Scientologists over business matters. The WISE Business Directory used to be a complete comprehensive list of every business owned by a Scientologist. And I bet you can imagine why they stopped publishing it. To the best of my knowledge, one of those WISE business directories has not been published in a very long time. I wish they would bring it back so bad. I would do like a 6-hour video just reading the entire list of every business in the world that was owned by a Scientologist, just for fun, just because I've got nothing better to do. Thank you, Grandma Matilda. Marilyn Honig. Sorry I fell asleep. Damn, sounds like your biscuits are really burning. Oh, and please fix those pearls. Mah Pearls. Yes, I had a pearl emoji from Marilyn. I uploaded it. It's impossible to see because it's a white emoji. Or it's got a white background, white pearls on white background. She sent me white pearls on a black background. I meant to upload it before this live, but I forgot to. But I promise you, Marilyn, the reason I texted you earlier is because I was going to ask if you wanted to jump into StreamYard in the back office, because you're on Team Aaron, the StreamYard Team Aaron, and help star comments before Barb showed up. But Barb's here now. So, but Marilyn, just so you know, if I'm ever live and you're not doing anything, you're on my StreamYard team. You can jump in and help me star comments from members if you'd like. Oh, Betsy Sue says Alex is a moderator for Jeffrey Augustine. Of course he is. Well, just like Alex, the moment he appeared on the scene, asked if he could be, the regional representative for the Aftermath Foundation, and then could he be on the board of the Aftermath Foundation, and then could he piggyback on the fundraiser for the Aftermath Foundation. He kind of does the same with as many people in the community as he can. So, whether I promise you, Alex asked Jeff if he could be a moderator. I promise you, Jeff did not ask Alex if Alex wanted to be a moderator. So Take that for what it is. Remy Rat gifted 5 growing up in Scientology memberships. Guys, with all this membership activity, we must have broken 800. Let me go into the back office real quick and see what we're up to, because it's getting cray-cray. 845. Oh my goodness, you guys. We're at 845 members. That is awesome. Well, thank you very much, Remy Rat. That's very kind of you. I appreciate that. Oh, Larry B. You might have addressed this, but how do you feel about Stefani Hutchinson comparing you to David Miscavige and Joseph Goebbels? Or Gobbles? I think it's Goebbels, right? It bothers the HE double hockey sticks out of me. Did she say that? I must not have read the blog post very closely. I only found out about it yesterday, and it's been up for a few days. You know, it's just one. I mean, I have sort of covered it, so I won't rehash it. I mean, the stuff that the hateful stuff Stefani has said about me on Twitter and in her blog post. This is someone who used to be a friend of mine. This is someone I've never had an argument or a disagreement with. And but obviously you haven't seen the earlier part of the chat, Larry, but yeah, I did cover it, so I won't rehash it all again. But I mean, again, that's like, honestly, it's like Scientology stuff. It's crazy. It's absolutely insane. Okay. Brenda said, DOA accidentally put Chris Shelton's photo on his flyers for the SPTV Foundation. I wonder what Shelton will think of that. Yeah, I think Shelton will probably have an aneurysm and a seizure and defecate in his pants instantly while angry tweeting about it and hate posting on Reddit. And then, yeah, I think DOA should pass them out anyway. Oh, the Not So Graceful Swan gifted 1 membership. Thank you, Not So Gifted Swan. Lady Pamela gifted a membership. Thank you, Lady Pamela. Elise is a new member. Lama Elia is a new member. Thank you so much. Danny says, thinking about going to Clearwater soon. I think you should think about it even harder. But seriously, text me when I'm off the live. Text me. Bo Beats. How is the wise beard man doing post-election? You know, look, let's be honest. Mark Bunker and I are both very sad that he lost. I really wanted him to win. He really wanted to win. And here's the thing, guys. Oh, I don't think I mentioned this in any of my videos. The local political establishment pushed through a referendum item in the election a couple weeks ago that will make it impossible for Mark Bunker to win any future elections, or any Scientology critic to win any future elections. Now, guys, I'm going to say the following only because it's true and not because I'm trying to get political. You have to understand this. We're speaking about realities here, and you guys know I have a no politics rule, but I do have to talk about reality. The local Clearwater Republican establishment has been hopelessly infiltrated by Scientology. Some of their top members are on Scientology's payroll. Brian Onks Jr., Joe Burdett, Mary Repper, Ed Armstrong. Okay. They pushed through an amendment that you can no longer win a Clearwater City Council election without having a runoff election if you win with less than 50% of the vote. Mark Bunker won his first election with like 26% of the vote. So even if it would be impossible, given the reality of the money from the political parties and the associated political action committees, it would be impossible for a Scientology critic to win a runoff election. It's basically a second election, and it requires a hell of a lot more money. And the local GOP would never allow it. And don't hate me for saying this, guys. This is just a fact, okay? And if there's a silver lining, and it's not much of one, it also means a Scientologist could never win an election either. Now, the reason why that's not a silver lining is because a Scientologist could already never win an election. A Scientologist has never even tried to run for Clearwater City Council before. That's not an exaggeration. The thing is, they don't need to, because Scientology's influence in the local Republican Party, it's not that the Republicans love the Scientologists. It's just that the fact that some leading Republican lobbyists are on Scientology's payroll has a chilling effect on the subject of Scientology. Nobody wants a Scientology. None of these people want a Scientology critic on the city council. The local GOP hates Scientology, but they'll take their money, and they hate Scientology, but they hate those pesky Scientology critics as well. And the Scientology critics aren't the ones putting money into the GOP lobbyists' pockets. You guys know that I don't talk about partisan politics, and you guys know these comments that I'm making about the local Republican Party are not ideologically based. These are just fact-based. These are facts. I'm reporting to you the facts. So that's unfortunate. I was hoping that Mark could run again in 2 years. It would be a waste of time and money. I was hoping he could run for mayor. It would be a waste of time and money. But what I do want to do is do everything in my power to help Mark Bunker have a lot of success on YouTube. Mark has a treasure trove, a library, an Alexandria's library worth of Scientology content on old videos, interviews, and everything. And anything I can do to help, kind of lift Mark up YouTube-wise, I want to do. I want to have Mark here in the studio with me, do a bunch of cool chats with him as often as possible. But yeah, that's the best answer I can give, guys. What he accomplished was very important, and the political establishment has made sure it will never happen again. It's really unfortunate. Rosa Vasquez. Chris Shelton does the same. He blocked me because I asked a question he didn't like. Well, don't feel bad, Rosa. Chris treated all the Jane Does the same way, and he treated Mirriam Francis the same way as well. People wonder why I go after Chris Shelton so hard. One of the reasons is because of how he treated the Jane Does in the Danny Masterson trial. He then blocked them all and told them to never contact him again when they expressed their displeasure with some of the things he was doing and doing to them and saying about them. He also did the same thing to Mirriam Francis recently. He cursed her out, told her to never contact him again, and blocked her. Go to Chris's Twitter profile. I'm pretty sure the pinned tweet says, "It's chaos out there. Be kind." Fake. Okay. Buffy Summers. Hello again, Aaron. I caught the reply of your foundation announcement video. I don't know what reply you're talking about, but it says, "Thank you. And to answer your question, it is Sarah Michelle Gellar in my profile photo. I'm a big fan of the TV show." Okay. I was in the Halloween 1999 episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer with Sarah Michelle Gellar. It's an episode where she's at a Halloween party in a house. It's a house party, and in the basement there's a graveyard, and the graveyard comes to life, and the zombies come out of the graveyard and they fight with Sarah Michelle Gellar. I'm one of those zombies. And I did get to grab her leg, but then they cut the scene, and then the stunt woman came in, and then I did the stuff with the stunt woman. So I didn't get to fight with her, but I did get to meet her, and I did get to touch her leg. It was like the calf, between the ankle and the calf, just like, what a zombie would grab if it was coming out of the graveyard. Awesome. Thank you, Buffy. Okay. Absolutely not says, that is why I support you. You are transparent, the same on and off camera, nothing fake about you. I have zero tolerance for it. I didn't know any of that about Alex. Thanks. I've met a lot of people, viewers, who come to Clearwater and they message me, "Hey, I'm going to be in Clearwater. You want to come out?" And then we hang out. And I will say, one of the funniest things they've said to me, it's only funny to me when I hear it, is like, "Oh my God, you really are the exact same person." They're like, you meet someone, you think that there's like an on-air personality. It's like, no, this really is me. Gucci Dessa, can we have Stephanie's Twitter? You know what? Why not? It's not her personal Twitter, meaning it's not Stefani Hutchinson. She, tweets as, well, she got me fucking blocked. It's like Ultia Veritas. Hold on, let me pull it up on my phone. Hold on. Oh, they won't even let you search it by searching Twitter anymore. You have to put in X. Oh, man. You know what? Oh, am I really going to stay here and look for this? How do I find this? It's like Ultio Veritas, I think. Ugh, I don't really. This dead air is killing me, you guys. By the way, Gucci Dessa is Jessica Palmadessa's mother. So hello, Gucci Dessa. All right. How far back do I have to scroll to see her stuff? I just don't see it. I'm sorry. I wouldn't be surprised if she blocked me on this one too. But I really think it's Ultio, Ultio Veritas, but I could be wrong. Thank you for the question. Oh, yeah. Oh. This is what it is. Ultio et Veritas. ULTIO space ET space VERITAS. Good luck. Mrs. Valentine. Please call my name out. Growing up in Scientology. Emanuela. Uh-oh, how do I say this? Okay. Emanuela Siftchi. I want to say Chi. It's gotta be Santucci. I want to say it's Siftchi Santucci. Oh, maybe Ch is the two C's and Siftki. Emanuela Siftki Santucci or Emanuela Siftchi Santucci. It's one of those. One of those was correct. Thank you, Mrs. Valentine. Allison Fordyce, welcome as a new member. David Mini Savage. Anyone who hides behind a fake name is a dodgy scumbag. You know, I guess I don't feel that anyone who uses an alt handle is a scumbag. People who attack public people while hiding behind anonymous handles, yeah, you're a dodgy scumbag when you do that shit. Let's go. Can Jenny Strom help Mirriam as a witness of the cover-up? Well, I'm just a normie. What do I know? I grew up in a cult. But I do believe that anyone who has firsthand knowledge that could be beneficial in a lawsuit or a criminal action could be helpful as a witness. So as long as there is a lawsuit or as long as there is some sort of criminal investigation occurring, it would seem to me that the answer would be yes. And that's one of the reasons Scientology is very, very afraid of all the voices and the faces that they're seeing pop up. Because let me tell you something, if you're not afraid to be on YouTube and you're not afraid to be here with your real face and your real voice and your real story, you're not afraid to fill out an affidavit for some attorneys. That's what Scientology really has to be afraid of. All right. I'm seeing even some super chats, guys, that I'm going to choose not to import, if you catch my drift. On the happy healing train says, who needs Netflix at this point? Does Netflix have reality television? Oh, but you're probably just making an entertainment comment about entertainment in general. But yeah, I got to tell you, I used to watch Netflix all the time. I don't watch Netflix at all anymore. I'm like, it's just YouTube. No, there is something on Netflix. The Gentleman. I'm watching the Netflix. I'm watching The Gentleman on Netflix. Such a good show. It makes me want to go back and watch the movies. There've been a couple movies about The Gentleman too, right? Oh my God. Absolutely amazing. But other than that, yeah, it's all about SPTV, baby. Uh-oh. I'm starting to get a little phlegmy from, we're 90 minutes into this thing. Okay, let's see. Joseph Henning, great merch idea. I just joined the cult and the cult kicked me out. There you go. Oh, and that's the other thing. You want to talk about just being honest or being just a slimy, lying sleazebag. Okay, so Alex put up a post on his community tab saying, I'm going to be getting rid of all the SPTV merch in my store. Of course, he didn't say I'm getting rid of it now. He didn't say I got rid of it and now I'm going to tell you. He's like, I'm getting rid of it, but you have like, I'm getting rid of it at some future date. Buy it all before it's not available anymore. And the only reason I'm getting rid of it is because I don't want there to be any confusion whether the proceeds from that merch is going towards the SPTV Foundation. And it's like, dude, nobody thought the proceeds from SPTV merch was going to the foundation. It's just like Alex running around lying to people saying the reason he didn't do a fundraiser is because I told him he couldn't. It's like, Alex, you have all, you can sell all the SPTV merch that you want. You know that the reason you're not selling the SPTV merch is because you don't want to support, you don't want to be seen by your overlords as supporting the SPTV brand, because you know that anyone who supports the SPTV brand is going to be seen as supporting the SPTV Foundation, and you know that you don't support the SPTV Foundation. But instead of saying that, you lie and you say, I just want to avoid any confusion. I wouldn't want someone to buy merch from me thinking that the money was going to the foundation when I don't want to deceive anyone. Nobody was deceived, Alex. Nobody was deceived. And nobody cares that you canceled the merch. You could have just gotten rid of the merch. Nobody cares. But instead, you put up this whole dramatic bullshit post. And that is kind of reminiscent of your other bullshit behavior and misrepresenting of things in general. And yeah, there we go. Okay, Sparrows 9. Welcome, Sparrows 9, as a member. Hope you enjoy your time as a member. Jill Davidson gifted 1 growing up in Scientology membership. Thank you so much, Jill. That's incredibly generous of you. ConfidentChris. Maybe ConfidentChris is one of the most diligent protesters out there. Chris, we haven't done an interview yet, bro. We got to get you on here. Now that I did one with Jessica, we got to do one with you. How about tomorrow, Friday? Text me later. If you're around Friday, let's do a chat tomorrow. Maybe they don't like us because we're more effective. Yeah, exactly. What the protesters have accomplished out there in Hollywood is stunning. And for someone like Stefani Hutchinson to be like, they haven't shut down Scientology. Scientology isn't shut down. No shit, Stefani. No one said Scientology was shut down. They shut down the test center, which is incredible. And they've made it impossible to do sidewalk recruitment. And people go, they were never actually effectively doing sidewalk recruitment. Then why were they trying? Like, the people who are constantly trying to minimize what the protesters are doing, I don't have enough derogatory adjectives to use to describe how I feel about the people who constantly find it necessary to minimize and criticize what the protesters are doing, while you sit there doing nothing yourselves. Anyway, I hope the protesters never give up, no matter what. And you know, I feel a little bad because I myself haven't been down to Clearwater downtown in hardly at all lately doing the protesting. Anyway, there's some more things I could say about that, but I'll save it for another video. But guys, and I'll try to do my best here. Streets, William Good, Jessica Palmadessa, ConfidentChris, Laura, Serge, Michael, DOA, Danny, Leah, Aja, LA Audit. And I'm talking about LA guys. I know there's Denver, there's Denver Scientology Audit, there's Windy City in Chicago, there's Utology, there's Shytology, there's all sorts of stuff. But LA Cam, I think, is LA Cam. LA Cam, are you still out there? You still doing it? I think Hellcat said he was going to stop. I think Easy Quick said he was going to stop. But all the people, even Tori Magoo is out there these days. Who else did I see out there? Oh, just a few nights ago, I was watching a whole bunch of streams at the same time. And they weren't outside La Poubelle. They weren't outside the test center. They were outside the parking structure on Fountain on the south side of L. Ron Hubbard Way. And it's funny because you wouldn't even really call it a protest. It really was like a get together. It looked like a barbecue. It looked like a hangout. And I thought to myself, that is so freaking cool. They are just enjoying being there. They like each other enough that they enjoy each other's company. They can hang out. They can talk. They're having fun. Like, I know we generally call it all protesting. And it is. I do consider it's fair to call it all protesting. But it's not all constantly walking around, signs, like, and it's not serious. It's fun. Guys, it has to be fun in order to be sustainable. People only want to go out there and do it all day, or not all day. People only want to go out there and do it every day if it's fun. And that's one of the greatest things that this group of protesters, live streamer protesters, it's one of the greatest things they've accomplished out there is to figure out how to make it fun. And honestly, that's, if you guys, it's one of the funniest things about what Chris and Jessica specifically have done. Chris has this little finger puppet, Streets LA finger puppet. What do you call it? Hand puppet Streets? What do you call it, Chris? If you're still in the live stream, Chris, what do you call that puppet? Oh yeah, did I say Danny and Leah? Danny and Leah, of course. What I don't want to give away what Chris is going to do. He's got a little finger puppet for Streets LA, and he's got another kind of thing for me. I don't know. Mini Streets. He calls his finger puppet Mini Streets, and he's got a funny thing he's going to do for me that I don't know if he's announced it yet. I gave it away on another live stream the other night, but almost nobody probably would have seen that. And it's the funniest freaking thing. Okay, the shorts, the YouTube shorts that Jessica Palmadessa makes with her voiceovers, showing clips and compilations and edits of her footage and Chris's footage and other people's footage, is so freaking funny. It is this kind of energy that attracts other people and gets other people to want to join and participate. And it's so valuable and helpful. And the fact that there's so much positive vibes and good energy and humor being brought to this effort is one of the reasons why I just do not have enough derogatory adjectives to direct towards the people who seem dedicated to minimizing and criticizing what this group of people is doing. You guys are disgusting. I think you're pathetic. I think you're truly terrible people because you're not out there doing anything. And you're just trying to make these people feel, you're trying to take them down a notch. You're trying to make them feel a little worse about something they're doing that is very valuable. And it's absolutely disgusting. So, yeah, I want them to know that they're always going to have my support. I haven't been out to LA for a number of weeks now, but the next time I do, I might even surprise you guys. See, on the one hand, I want to surprise you guys and just show up and have it be a nice surprise. But on the other hand, I feel like you probably want to know if I'm coming. So anyway, and we'll figure it out. All right. What is next? Ramon's girl. Aaron, you told me to email you and you would send me your address because I have a gift, but how will you see my email amongst all others? Ramon's girl, just put in the subject, request for address. I may not read all of the emails, but I do see them, meaning I do like go through them. I just very quickly decide whether it's something I'm going to read the entirety of. So just do that and I'll see it. I promise. Marilyn Honig says the timing of the interview being released is interesting. It seems like damage control. It's possible. It's possible. I mean, it's funny. Like I give Claire credit for doing that. And yeah, could it have been damage control? Maybe. And also, why not Streets? Like, obviously, like I interviewed Streets like 3 or 4 times before I interviewed Jessica. And the only reason I hadn't interviewed Chris is because I'm like, no, I should really interview Jessica first. I feel like it'd be throwing shade on Jessica if I interviewed Chris before Jessica. And, but it's like, why do these guys not want to mention Streets' name? I guess Streets isn't his name. William Good, Scientology audit. Like, what's the deal? It's almost like they have something against him specifically. I don't know. Okay, Lethenda Grauklinger is back with a clarification. No, I meant in the comment about the counseling, I meant the SPTV Foundation members who talk to the Scientology survivors. Sorry if that was unclear. Interesting. Okay. Normally I would hesitate to talk about foundation business, but perhaps this isn't foundation business. Perhaps this is just a disclosure in the vein of transparency. I know there's been a lot of questions as to why people are on the board, why certain people are not on the board. I will tell you this. When decisions were being made about who to put on the board, one of the things that was going through my mind was it should be someone who is not likely to ever need funds from the foundation, because that would be a conflict of interest. And so if it was someone who I thought would be likely to at some point in the future need or request funds, then I did not put them on the board. And so I guess what I'm saying is, technically speaking, the answer to your question is no. Meaning, and as of right now, I would consider it a conflict for a board member of the foundation to receive funds from the foundation. Now you might go, even if it was counseling? Well, even if it was anything. So maybe the way something like this would work is if there was someone who wanted to offer that service for free. And that's not even like a solicitation. I'm just saying, I'm just trying to answer your question honestly without sounding mean. We do sort of have this thing of board members should not be getting money from the foundation. Like if anything is a conflict of interest, wouldn't that be a conflict of interest? That's the best answer I have for you at this point, Lathanda. Hope you appreciate that. Lucinda. It's either Lucinda or Lucinda. Either way, welcome. Thank you for all that you do. Many of us never ends support all of you. That's excellent. Thank you for being here, Lucinda or Lucinda. And Kraken Studio, you are definitely swamped with emails. Cough, cough. This is another email I haven't responded to. Will's hoodie pocket says, Mama Gucci Dessa. Jessica's mom is in the chat. She sure is. AJ Speaks, welcome as a new member. Okay, there's one here. I'm just going to choose not to import that one. Sorry if people feel like I'm selectively importing, but I guess, I mean, it is selective, right? I got to choose what to import and not to import. I hope nobody takes it personally if I don't bring up their comment. All right, moving on. Shanova, welcome as a new member. Miss Sunrise Dawn, welcome as a new member. OMG, again, Remy Rat? Again? 5 more memberships gifted by Remy Rat. That's incredible. I really appreciate that. Cheryl R, welcome as a new member. Andrew Humphrey, welcome as a new member. Chrissy Gaming, welcome. Andrew Humphrey gifted 5 Growing Up in Scientology memberships. You guys are unbelievable. Incredible, you guys. High C Banditry, love the name. When are you coming back to LA? All right, let me check the calendar, guys. Just in case Scientology wanted to know, the next time I'm coming back to LA, I do think it will be the weekend of the 27th and the 28th of May. Wait, April. Sorry, guys, April. I would predict that it should be the 27th and the 28th, that weekend, somewhere on that weekend. And you know what? I really should let people know if I'm coming instead of surprising everyone, because then it gives people a chance to come out and hang and kind of say hi and help make it more of a fun party. I got to tell you, the last time that I was there, it's when all of us were there. It was so much fun. So much fun. And I'd like to be able to repeat something like that. Okay, let's see. Couch. Yeah, I don't know what the hell happened with Chris Shelton. He used to do awesome work. I used to use it to fall asleep to. Yeah, if you're having any sleep, watching some of Chris's videos will induce instant narcolepsy. So it does have some health benefits for anyone who's a little sleep deprived. Vintage Mama of 3, gifted 5 growing up in Scientology memberships. My goodness, Vintage Mama of 3. I have seen your emails, by the way. I hope I've responded to them. Not all emails ask for a response, but I definitely do see your emails. Oh, let's see. Kremelar. Hello, AA Ron. Years ago, I used to protest outside the Manchester building in the UK. Rumors had it they had cameras inside with face scanning technology. Is there any truth to this? I can't speak to the truth of the rumors specifically in Manchester, because Manchester is not a big Scientology building, and that kind of technology is expensive. Scientology does have that technology here at the Flag Land Base. So obviously they're capable of, as long as they have the money to buy the technology, they're capable of doing it. I don't know that they would bother doing that in an org like Manchester. So if I had to guess, I would say no. But at the same time, I don't actually know. I wonder where those rumors came from. I mean, these rumors, crap. Half the stuff I read online from people who consider themselves part of this community is total bullshit. So, and that's from people who actually pretend that they actually know what they're talking about. So when it comes to, any just rumors that people might have been spreading out there outside of the Manchester org, who knows? But you know what? I guarantee you, we have got people in the audience who actually worked at the Manchester org. And so, okay, if you're watching this video and you worked at the Manchester org, comment, not in the live chat, but either comment in the live chat or comment in the actual comments, what years you were there and whether they had any, what do they call it? Face ID, right? What do they call it? What is the word where they have the software that runs the image? It's the same thing that that Streets uses to identify people. What is it called, guys? I'm looking in the live chat right now. What is that technology called where you upload an image and it runs a search and it tells you who it is? I feel so stupid that I'm facial recognition. Okay, yes, facial recognition technology. If you worked at the Manchester org, comment whether they had any facial recognition technology being put to work there. Thank you for the super chat, Kremelar. Okay, what is this? The Superstar. Oh, Blako. Oh, yeah, I'm never going to remember that. Is that actually Scottish? I am never going to remember that. Blako. Celine Blako. I am never going to remember that, but I'm going to try. I promise I will try. Georgina Armstrong, welcome as a new member. Okay, help me film them. Says, question, I'm a cop watcher, LA protester. You've been on my live before at La Poubelle. Has anyone made a comprehensive diagram of the layout of the blue buildings for the protesters before? What you're asking for, nothing comes to mind, but I guess I almost want to say, are you talking about a ground level layout, or are you talking about the layout of the tunnel under L. Ron Hubbard Way? Because otherwise, oh wait, you're talking about just a bird's eye view of the ground level. You know what? That would be really helpful. I'd be willing to help someone put that together. I don't know how exactly to go about doing it. I haven't seen something like that, but I think that would be helpful. And if anyone wants to give it a shot and just needs my input on what's where and what to call things, shoot me an email and hopefully I'll read it. And I'm happy to help do that. Help me film them. If you, email me, help me film them. Let's talk about this. Okay, let's see. Oh, this one's a little mean, but it is Keela, so I'm going to bring it up. Chris Shelton must love to have a woman be mean to him. He said he was blocking anyone friends with you. That's true. Chris did put up a post on Facebook that says, if you support Asmithlevin in any way, unfriend me now. This is the critical thinker at large, guys. And remember, on Twitter, it says, it's chaos out there. Be kind. He said he was blocking anyone friends with you. I verbally call him out on Twitter every day. Stephanie keeps following me also. I guess they like facts. Wow, he hasn't blocked you, Keela? That's incredible. He usually blocks anyone who says anything to him. Oh, you know what? It's because you're not a Jane Doe. If you were a Jane Doe, he'd block you instantly. If you were a victim of sex abuse in Scientology, he would just block you automatically. So that's, don't take it personally. Okay. Lisa Gillespie. Congratulations on the SPTV Foundation. Question: what are your thoughts on Alonzo's blog? Just curious. Seen some content recently and would love your take. Once upon a time, I tried to have some dialogue with Alonzo and see if because he seemed like he was I saw everything he was posting and it seemed like he was really hurt that he wasn't getting the respect and the responses that he wanted. And he seemed to feel like he was just being gaslit by everyone. And I was like, he seems like a genuine dude who has legitimate gripe and grievances. Let me just try to talk to him. And I tried. It was either for weeks or for months. This was probably not long after the Aftermath Foundation was created, like years and years and years ago. And I just found Alonzo to be impossible to talk with and to just reason with. Like, everything I said, he tried to twist it and interpret it in the worst possible, like the vast majority of our discussion was me spent defending myself against him, constantly having the least charitable and most offensive interpretation of everything I said. And I just find him to no longer be a genuine, like, he's not Osa. Like, people think Alonzo Osa. He's not Osa. He does believe everything he's saying. It's just not possible to talk with, like, the only acceptable resolution of a conversation with Alonzo from Alonzo's perspective is you agreeing with Alonzo. Like, anything you feel and believe that isn't in lockstep with him, you're brainwashed. You're still deluded. You're still a cult member. You're covering up for this person, that person. Like, I just found him to be impossible to work with and deal with. Oh, and then of course he goes and does videos about anything we privately discussed, which is like, who would ever want to talk to him? Like, he's one of these guys who, like, he latches on to every new person who pops up. I legitimately and genuinely tried to engage with him as an honest effort, and I found it to be impossible. So that's my thoughts on Alonzo. I do believe that he believes everything he says. Matrix Tech Solutions, good to see you in here. Keep up the great work, Aaron, and congratulations with the new foundation. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, and I always like seeing you in here. Bigsy 1979 says members only is way better. Oh boy. Okay. I wonder why. If I could still guarantee on these live chats that we're doing here, if I could still guarantee that every member comment and question, like that began with comment or question, was brought up and responded to, would that be okay? Would that make this a better, an equally good experience to the members only? And that's one of the reasons I wanted to have multiple people starring comments, was in case there was too many member comments for one person, but I just don't know. I'll have to ask Barb afterwards how the traffic is. Okay, let's see. Panko says, I'll probably wrap this up at the 2-hour mark, guys. Hey, Aaron, you are the best. Some folks out there are really nuts. Can't believe it. Keep strong. Thank you very much. I got to tell you guys, the attacks and the criticism and the hate do not bother me. They motivate me. They fuel me. Dana White just did an interview with Lex Fridman. I should say Lex Fridman just published an interview with Dana White. It's only about an hour and a half long, not very long. Towards the end of the interview, Dana talks about how his biggest haters and detractors, and I don't like using the word haters because it's so dismissive, his biggest critics The people who seem to exist for no reason other than to criticize him or always looking for him to fail. He loves it. He goes, I thrive on it. He goes, I eat it for breakfast. And I sent that clip to someone this morning and I said, watch this 3-minute clip. Because I got to tell you, I do feel the same way. The conflict and the drama and the negativity does not in any way sharpen, dull my edge. I might sometimes focus on it too much, but that results in me being more fueled and more motivated. And it just fuels me and motivates me to be more of a pain in the ass for David Miscavige, to be more of an absolute terror to Scientology. And now that I finally have the new foundation up and running, to put all of my heart and soul into raising as much money as possible, to put to as effective use as possible, to help as many people as possible leave Scientology, and to generate as much reach as possible, to let as many people as possible know about that effort. And that's why I wanted as many board members as possible, so that as many others as possible could do that exact same thing. And that just channeling the negativity. I mean, it's like Ghostbusters, right? What was in Ghostbusters? They put the proton packs on the bad guy and the bad guy got bigger. Was that Ghostbusters? I feel like it was. Now, don't get me wrong, guys. I don't need the negativity in order to be motivated. I don't. But it sure does put a fine edge, a fine, sharp edge on that motivation. I'll tell you that much. Thank you, Panko. Nancy New 12. Slag off protesters, but wasn't Alex doing the exact same thing? Oh, no, Nancy New, don't be confused. Alex was being nice. He said, pip, pip, cheerio, Scientology has to go. But because he said pip, pip, cheerio, apparently the Scientology has to go part wasn't offensive to the Scientologists. I'm sorry you didn't get the memo, Nancy New. You must have been confused. Alex did the protest the right way. That's what Mark, Mike, and Claire, and even Tony Ortega and Chris Shelton have said. Alex showed the right way to protest. You just have to say pip, pip, cheerio, and it's much less offensive, guys. Danny says, Clearwater next? You better believe Clearwater's next. Yes, indeed. Julie B, welcome as a new member. FlufferSquirrelUK says, updated the list. All areas are on my community page. Guys, on FlufferSquirrelUK's community tab of her YouTube channel, for some reason, I think you're female. Apologies if you're not. She has listed all of the channels of the live streamers by city. So you can check that out. Okay, let's see. Jazzy J. Good to see you, Jazzy J. Wouldn't it be fun to see a short live stream where all the board members are introduced Brady Bunch style? Yes, it would. It absolutely would. And we will one of these days do that. The problem is there's 12 board members. And I think StreamYard only lets you have 10 people. Oopsie. I gotta double check what's the maximum amount of people you can bring on a stream, but I think it's less than 12. Now, I mean, maybe we won't be able to get all 12 people. Like, basically, Jazzy J, we want to do something like that. We will do as close to that as we can figure out how to do. Because, yeah, it would be an incredible amount of fun. Jen Nelson, did you find your pearls? Yes, I did find them. I just keep keeping them over there. See, if I have people come to the house and come through the studio, I feel self-conscious having a set of women's pearls just casually laying around. Like, I feel like a weirdo. So I keep the pearls stowed away. Now, for the longest time, I did just have them right here on the desk. And then I think I had someone come over to clean the house, and I was like, oh, shit. You better get rid of all the like the, you know, all the dolls that John Shostowski has sent me. I've got all the dolls and the hats and everything. And I'm like, I look like a weirdo with all the stuff that I've got lying around in here. So I put it all in a big suitcase. And where is that suitcase? Yeah. Oh, where is it? Where'd that suitcase go? It's in here somewhere. But yeah, so I do know where the pearls are, and I will break them out again sometime soon. I promise. Grounded in Grace says, I just absolutely love how you avoid getting into all the drama. Well, I got into an awful lot of drama today, but you know, you've handled all of this so incredibly well. Also love when you have these very real feisty moments. Well, thank you, Grounded in Grace. I appreciate it. You know, look, I don't actually consider myself to be someone who stays out of drama or avoids drama. For the sake of all the aftermath stuff, I've very specifically been staying out of it because I'm not kidding, guys. Every time I do a video about that shit, I lose subscribers. It's just a fact. And look, this YouTube channel, I mean, a successful YouTube channel is run with, in a similar way that you would run a business. You do have to care about what your viewers like and don't like. There's no reason to keep doing stuff that the people who support your channel don't like. And let's be honest, people on my channel do not like when I'm doing videos about Mike Rinder. And that's why the only times I've ever done it is in response to some shit he's put on his blog and the stupid videos that they did. I have had tons of requests. Can we do this chat about Mike Rinder? I said, no, it's not what I do on my channel. I don't want to do it. I don't like doing it. It exhausts me emotionally. It's not fun. I get very fired up. I'm in a bad mood for days. I feel sick, you know, like not like sick, but like, you know, like kind of like, you know, I feel like after I do those videos, I feel like I've been in a fight, you know. It takes me a few days to calm down, to calm down. And I lose subscribers. So on the aftermath stuff specifically, I've stayed out of the drama. When it comes to Chris Shelton, I wade into the drama because Chris is just a horrible, horrible person behind the scenes. He's just really, really, truly disgusting. The way he's another person who's talked about my wife and my kids. Chris Shelton, you are a terrible fucking human being, okay? You really are. And you need to stop crying that nobody watches your videos. Nobody watches your videos because they suck. Stop crying about it and make them better, but stop fucking crying about it, okay? And stop talking about my fucking family and my wife and my kids. You're a fucking horrible person. And you pretend to know shit that you don't know a fucking thing about. You know nothing. You're one of these guys who goes online. How do you go on your YouTube channel and be like, this is a drama-free zone? But then you're on Facebook and Twitter and Discord and Reddit just carpet bombing everyone in our community with hateful shit. But then you get on your YouTube channel that nobody watches and you're like, this is a drama-free zone. Yeah, it's the only part of your life that's drama-free. But you act like that drama-free zone is who you are. No, you are the drama, Chris. You are the drama. And the fact that you were so fucking horrible to the Jane Does in the Danny Masterson suit, and you were so fucking horrible to Mirriam Francis, is why I welcome the drama when it comes to Chris Shelton. I don't enjoy going after Alexander Barnes-Ross. I'm sorry that Stephanie even brought his name up. If she hadn't brought him up, I wouldn't have said one fucking word about him today. Alexander Barnes-Ross is not worth my time. I don't care enough about him to shit on him. He's never been horrible to me. He's just been a weird, creepy stalker. Chris Shelton has been horrible to me. And so, God, it's funny. I'm being really dramatic in this video, aren't I? So I guess what I'm saying is, I'm not trying to pat myself on the back as someone who avoids drama. I don't feel like I'm someone who avoids drama. I've specifically tried to avoid it with the aftermath stuff because it would just make me look petty and it would just make me look vindictive. And I just don't need that. And my subscribers don't like it. And the videos themselves that I've done about Mike did get a good number of views, but I lost a bunch of subscribers at the same time. It's not worth it. And the truth is, people don't watch the Growing Up in Scientology channel to hear about what a piece of shit Mike Rinder is. They watch my channel to hear about what a piece of shit Scientology is. And that's why I'm here. And that's what the channel's here for. It's to be David Miscavige's worst nightmare, not to be Mike Rinder's worst nightmare. I'm going to do everything in my power to stay completely focused on being David Miscavige's worst nightmare. That's actually what motivates me and fuels me. The other stuff is just a distraction for me. That's how I honestly and truly feel about it. Oh, Danny says DanWalksLA as well. I've heard a lot about the DanWalksLA channel. I've just never seen the DanWalksLA channel. Let me pull it up right now and subscribe so that when I pull up my subscription feeds at the end of the day, he'll be in there. Dan Walks, there he is. Nope, there he's not. Oh, there he is. DanWalksLA. Subscribe. Okay, I am the 441st subscriber for DanWalksLA. Awesome. When I lay in bed at night and I pull up my subscriptions to see which protesters are live, I'll see your stuff, Dan, and I'll jump into your live chat as well. Thanks for giving him a shout out, Danny. That was nice of you. Okay, let's see here, guys. Guys, we've been doing, holy shit, you guys. We've been going 2 hours and 4 minutes. I can't believe it. Oh, Mindy. I forgot about Mindy. Mindy. I didn't mean to leave you off, Mindy. You know what, Mindy? After I interview Chris, you and I will do our interview. Please bug me about it. As soon as I interview Chris, bug me until you and I do our interview. All right, guys. You know, it's been 2 hours, 5 minutes. I feel like there's probably other people who are going live that I'm accidentally stepping on. So why don't we wrap this up? A couple last minute members. Chi-Town Native gifted a membership. Thank you, Chi-Town Native. Incredibly generous of you. Jadurstel 1977. Welcome as a new member. John Shamwowski says Aaron gives no circle jerk guarantee. Oh, I think you're saying Aaron gives a no circle jerk guarantee. Oh my God. Ken Cole 19 became a member. Welcome, Ken Cole. Excuse me became a member. Welcome, excuse me. Jill Davidson said gifted 5 memberships. Thank you, Jill Davidson. Matrix says, hello, Aaron. We've also been reporting on Scientology. They blocked me on Twitter. I'd like to have you on my show. I have been not really accepting invitations to go on other people's podcasts only because I tend to have everything I want to get done in a day. And I'm a professional procrastinator, pathological, some might say. And one of the ways I have inadvertently procrastinated is to go on other people's shows. And at the end of the day, I kick myself for it. But now you might say, well, I haven't done that very often lately, but that's because it's been intentional. So Matrix, if you shoot me an email, and actually in your email, have the title be, have the subject be Matrix with the 3 X's, podcast request, and I'll definitely see it. And I'll give you a response. Blow drill. This is Dylan Gill, everyone. It would be a very short wise list now. Yes, it absolutely would be. Okay, better together. I'm just going to read the super chats real quick, guys, because I feel bad not reading those. The Aftermath Foundation denies that the DSR funds because it's not FDA approved, but it is FDA approved for other ailments. While fighting an IRS 501c3 entity, like the same government doesn't oversee both the IRS and the FDA, everyone in that loop done messed up. Better together, it gets even more hypocritical than that. Mike Rinder was personally recommending this procedure to some of his own personal friends until he no longer liked Mike Brown and Jamie Mustard. It was only when Mike Rinder decided he no longer liked Mike Brown and Jamie Mustard that they all of a sudden decided that the FDA status of the procedure was somehow a problem when paying for funding. They're completely full of shit. It's total horse shit. Okay, now I've lost my place here. Dogs Unite Against Scientology says, AKA Peggy Wolf. Geez, you make me feel like a creep. Who made you feel like a creep? What did I say? Are you talking to me? I feel like there's some missing context here. Dogs, aka, oh, because someone said something about people who use anonymous handles. Oh, I only have a problem with people who hide behind anonymous handles while attack publicly and viciously attacking people who are not hiding behind handles. But no. You use your cute, adorable handles all day long. Nothing wrong with that at all. All right, guys, how about we wrap it up there? Does that sound good to you? 7:15 p.m. Let me clear the airwaves, make some room for some other folks. I see Serge Del Mar is live. WindyCityThetanWatch is live. Chicago Scientology Audit is live. It looks like on my subscribers, those are the only guys that are live right now. Anyway, this has been a blast, you guys. I had a lot of fun. Hope it wasn't too much drama for you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. Let's do it again soon. Talk to you soon.
Okay, if you want to see my rock and roll songs, click right on this guitar. And if you want to see a different one of my videos, then you could click right inside here. If you have subscribed or not, subscribe right here. Bye.